Welcome to Loup TV. I'm your host, Gene Munster. I'm joined today by Brrrn Board founder, Johnny Adamic. Johnny, many of you may not know who he is. I guess mark this moment because I have a feeling over the next few years you will get to know Johnny and what he is advancing in fitness in the home. Welcome, Johnny. Before we say much more, I'm going to jump to a screen share here and give a little teaser to what you're up to. For those of you who weren't paying close attention to who was on that board.
Yeah, and Jane, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. That was no one other than the most decorated Winter Olympian, Apollo Ono. Short track speed skater. He's won 8 medals.
Let me interrupt. He's the most decorated Winter Olympian. Is that right?
He's the most decorated Winter Olympic athlete. Yeah, not just in the U.S. but of all countries. So he's won 8 medals, 2 golds, 2 silvers, 4 bronze. He's incredible.
I gotta say, before we get into this, when I heard that he's an investor and about all that you're doing and him as a spokesperson, I really lit up because I know very well who he is. I knew that he could skate at like 35 miles an hour. I mean, just imagine looking at your car at 35 miles an hour and seeing somebody skating past you. Quite amazing. But spoiler alert here, I actually have had times when I've been out skating. I'm not a particularly good skater, and told myself that I'm Apollo Ono as I've gone around some skating rink pretty slow. So really amazing endorsement. And maybe we can just take a step back. We saw the video, it says a lot, but when we think of fitness at home, of course, we think about Peloton, and we think maybe some of the things that Apple Fitness is doing there too. And it begs the question, why does the world need yet another fitness at home platform?
Gene, that's a great question. And I think the answer is this is just the beginning of at-home fitness. I think that the pandemic has fast forwarded us into the digital revolution. I think it's here to stay, and it's here to stay for, we at Brrrn think, for 2 key reasons. One is convenience and one is affordable. So Brrrn is coming into the market right now. We are the most affordable option compared to our connected fitness peers. And it's part of our mission, right? Since 2018, we've been a company that has sought to inspire betterment to everybody. And that's in reference to people of the trans, queer, BIPOC, which is Black, Indigenous, people of color, Asian Americans, and people of all body shapes and ages, in an affordable and innovative manner, bringing them fitness experiences in affordable and innovative manner. So for us,
let me interrupt and talk about the affordability piece. And so yeah, kind of rough math is a Peloton, the bike typically is about $2,000 more or less. They've hinted towards having less expensive bikes, I think closer to $1,500. Where does the Brrrn Board fall?
We're excited to tell you that we're coming in way under, and my partner, Jimmy T. Martin, and I, this has been part of our DNA, is affordability. So our Brrrn Boards cost, our 5 foot is $229. And then our 6 foot, which adjusts to 5 feet, is $299. And then our subscription, our monthly subscription, is either $14.99 for the year, $14.99. I'm sorry, $14.99 for the month, or $149.99 for the year.
So that's about half of what Peloton's connected monthly fee is.
I would say it's actually closer to probably a third of Peloton. Most connected fitness concepts are coming in, $30 to $50 a month.
Okay, so it's less expensive. It's also just less hardware too, and probably there's an advantage around that, I suspect.
Yeah, what we're owning is mass market with a low tech vibe. So our Brrrn Board it's analog, right? It's kind of counter to all this high tech stuff, but it's presented with our app, which is an incredible subscription service, which has hundreds of on-demand classes across 8 categories, and it's a 7-day-a-week program that my co-founder in Cool, Jimmy T. Martin, and I built from scratch. The pandemic hit, As you can tell, I'm in my lovely brother-in-law's childhood bedroom here in Minnesota.
Nothing's changed since he grew up, apparently.
Nothing's changed since he grew up. Yeah. And I've been here for 16 months, right? Just doing my part on the e-commerce side. But anyway, so that's right. So that's what we're really excited about with this low tech vibe. The board, it's 32 pounds. It's literally the thing that made Apollo Ono it drove much of his success. He's been sliding on slide board since he was 12. Side to side training is part of his DNA. It's called lateral conditioning. It's really, really good for you.
Okay. Well,
I have so many wonderful things to say.
Well, I appreciate just the idea of getting something where people who live in smaller spaces, a little bit more affordable, that and kind of giving some inspiration around the classes too. You seem to line up on a lot of those. This is a space that we closely watch and well aware of all the different players out there. And it feels like that you're entering in at a good place here too. But a lot of it's about building awareness too. I think most people probably aren't aware of slide boards, and Apollo is going to be a piece of that. And I guess, how do you feel about the building awareness around this? Ultimate, is that kind of one of the key objectives of the company over the next couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're excited. The media is picking up on us, and they're calling us, the workout you've never heard of, the best workout you've never heard of. Fun fact, though, is everyone from D1 to professional to Olympic athletes, not only hockey and speed skaters, train on slide boards. So our partner who makes our boards at Ultra Slide, Barry Slotnick, he's been in the business for 30 years, and he makes custom boards for professional teams and athletes across the gamut of all sports. You name it, Steph Curry, he's all over slide boards. My former Badger, Russell Wilson, now the Seahawks quarterback, he slide board trains. Serena Williams, Andy Murray, every sport they lateral train, because moving west to east allows you to move better north to west. And in many sports, you also need to move west to east.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about just the broader, we talked about Peloton, kind of the in-home market. We have a thesis that every 25 years or so, commerce makes a move. In the 70s, or excuse me, in the 50s is when the shopping malls started to get moving. In the 70s and 80s, it was the big box retailers. 2000 was the internet. And we've recently published about how the next wave of commerce and experience is going to be in the home, and you kind of fit within that. But there's this macro piece you're a part of. There's also kind of the specifics around the fitness market. The numbers that I've looked at is 50, 60 million kind of plus people in the US go to gyms. Is that the numbers that you loosely think about too?
Yeah, that's about right. But obviously the pandemic has shifted that, and then there's a global play as well. But
Got it.
Please, yeah.
Okay, so it's a big market, and you're coming from a relatively small base. Is there anything you can share as you start to tap into that? We'll call it the US, given you're globally, but the US, that 50 million plus opportunity. How do you think about the success so far? Is there anything you can share about how to think about the trajectory?
Yeah, I think it was Credit Suisse that reported, I believe it's 7 trillion they anticipate the global market to be by 2024. I think right now it's like 5.9 trillion. And so
this is for fitness, personal fitness period, kind of?
This is for wellness in general.
Well, okay.
And I think that the underlying thesis towards this is, and I wrote for the Daily Beast as a fitness and health and wellness beat reporter, interviewed Anthony Bourdain about a food hall he was opening, to all sorts of public health experts. My background is in public health. And what the underlying thesis here, though, is that millennials, Gen Zers, and even younger Gen Xers have witnessed their boomer parents and then the greatest generation suffer from chronic diseases, heart attacks, diabetes, and they don't want that to be how they end up passing away. So they're super razor focused to improving their overall health and wellness. And that's why we're going to see this upsurge and uptick in health. And as a result of the pandemic now, health is going to be really, really important to people. Because of that reason, we're in it. We're focused on staying in our lane, which is fitness right now. And we're really excited about not only, targeting and not necessarily targeting, but shedding light on our incredible apparatus, which is the slide board, and our at-home platform, which covers mental hygiene with breath work and recovery and yoga. But hitting all generations, Gen Zs, millennials. I'm a geriatric millennial because I'm 36. That's what they call us now. The young Gen Xers, and also baby boomers. And let me say one more thing is low impact, right? So we're getting older, the high intensity interval training, all these movements that my brain can't tell you right now because I'm so excited to talk to you. It's hard on the joints. That Brrrn board, it's really low impact, steady state cardio. It's really good for you, and it's easy on the joints.
Nice. I just realized maybe we even have more in common. One of the other themes at Loop is around performance medicines, what we refer to as, we're not looking to invest in companies that are extending your life. It's about really the quality of life we think is most important. It sounds like you probably do both in the case. We are not, by the way, investors in Brrrn. We love the space more broadly too. And got a question, if we're kind of going down Main Street here, to take a left on Maple Street for a second here. Where do you find the instructors for doing slide board? Where do they come from?
Well, they come from original core instructors, come from our studio. The genesis of our studio was, we founded in 2018. We were the world's first cool temperature studio in the world. We exercised people in a giant custom fridge set to 50 degrees. And we taught all of our core instructors how to slide train. Jimmy T. Martin, my co-founder and partner, Cool, led it. He's a former D1 wrestler. He slide board trained in college at George Mason. He was a D1 wrestler. And from there, though, we let everyone integrate their personality and integrate, their personal training accreditation and ethos into the training. And from there, we've grown.
So a lot of you find good talent, you train them on the board. I think that's probably inspiration for all of us, that a board may be in our future. And I guess we fast forward, let's go 5 years down the road. We join again. And what are we talking about? Where is the journey, if you're going to predict what happens over the next 5 years for Brrrn Board?
Yeah, I think Brrrn is going to dominate the mass market on, again, the in the affordable connected fitness category. There's going to be Brrrn boards in all houses, whether it's replacing the gym that they have, or it's in addition to a connected bike or a connected rower. And we're also global, because Brrrn can drop ship the board. We're doing it right now via UPS ground, literally pre-assembled to your doorstep. So we're unlocking globally Amazon EU, Amazon UK, Dubai, Australia. We're also currently now live in Canada and Mexico. And then on top of that, we have a connected wearable play in development.
Last question, 5 years from now, do you think that more than half your revenue is going to come from outside of the US?
That's a great question. I think no, I think it's going to be, we want to focus on our backyard first and foremost. And I think, the American spirit with Apollo Ono leading the charge, being a champion of slide board, what's called dry land training, is going to get a lot of Americans and very, very excited about slide board training. So I think I'm gonna place my bet on America, but certainly we'll be entertaining, being in other countries. I'm dual citizen Italian American, so would love to get Brrrn boards in Italy. They've got smaller homes, smaller apartments, so I think it would fit really nicely in their European lifestyle. Amazing.
The next Winter Olympics are in 22 in Beijing, is that right?
Correct.
And are we going to see you? Is this Brrrn Board going to springboard you into to Team USA?
Absolutely. It's our goal to get the Brrrn Board with all the Olympic athletes that are training. Most of them are already slide board training, which is important to note because they know the importance of lateral training. But certainly hope to be in Beijing rooting on Team America.
Johnny, are we going to be rooting you? Will you be on the ice?
Fun fact, was on the ice. I was the mascot at Wisconsin-Madison as Bucky. I was the backup skater. I can barely hockey stop. So sure, I will ice skate with you, but I will probably fall.
I'm glad that Team USA is in, I guess, better hands for the actual athletes. Johnny, thanks for bringing fitness to the home and to the masses. We wish Brrrn Board all the luck. On behalf of Johnny, the board, and Gene and Loop TV, bye for now.